Hi there, it's Lori, and so since I've been doing my injuries this week, and this is my first painting, today's story will be about my first concussion, because it's actually hilarious. So, part of the reason I end my videos the way I do is related to this part of my life or background. This was actually before I was married, but my first husband was a youth pastor, and we were at church all the time. But were we engaged maybe? Anyway, we were there, and youth group was about to start, and the choir was practicing. Okay. Oh yeah, this might have been when we were very, very first dating, actually. And my ex was very funny. I mean, I don't think I could be with somebody that's not funny. But anyway, so I'm 19 because so we had just been dating. Or were we? Either way. No, maybe I was 20. Maybe I was 20 because I was in stats class. If for any of you that think that's ironic, it is, because I had a stats test on Monday and this is a Sunday. It's the only reason I remember it was a stats class, and college professors aren't known for being flexible. However, I got a note from the hospital after I went to I still haven't gotten to how I got it, but I had to go to the hospital because I clearly had a concussion. And so I was at the hospital till maybe midnight. I don't know, something like that. And my stats test was at like 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning. So I left a voicemail or something like that. I mean, it was the 90s, so not sure how I contacted him because it wouldn't have been email. Yeah, I think I had to leave him a voicemail. My volume went up on that for some reason. Anyway, so to the story, Lori. Choir's up in the front. So this part of the church building, part of it's a traditional chapel, and this part of the church building is more like a gymatorium, okay? Has big I-beams, which are big metal beams about this wide. And they're called I-beams because they're like a capital I. But the flat part is out. And then it was a metal building. It was at least 20 feet up. I was on the ground, sitting in a chair. My ex-husband said, again, we weren't married yet, a girl next to me was making little dresses for teddy bears. And for whatever reason, I found this absolutely hilarious. He asked her, "What are you making?" And she said, "Dresses," but didn't finish, for teddy bears. He goes, "It's a little short, isn't it?" And it just made me laugh. I laughed, threw my head back, literally hit my head so hard on the I-beam, because, behind me. That's what gave me the concussion. So laughing gave me a concussion, indirectly, but still. And the I-beam went bong. And the choir went silent. Again, they were just practicing, but yeah. That is how I got my first concussion. I can tell you exactly where it was on my head. Because I laughed. Drew my head back. And it's not, it was funny in the moment. It's not even that, how I got it. The concussion is funny, but what he said wasn't funny. It was just his delivery. He is a very funny man. Again, of course. But anyway, that's how I got my first concussion. What you're going to see next is, and I'll record audio, and it should cooperate the old traditional way, is my first painting. At least my first painting in adulthood. I didn't take too many art classes, so anyway, I went to a paint and sip in May of 2020. So, yeah. I think it was literally a week before my retirement was official, but things were just starting to open up, and I think there were only 6 people, and all the spacing. It was a special time that year. Anyway, this, my plan, and I noticed one of the little nails came out, so I need to, this is it. This is some kind of like cardboard. Oh, I'll turn it around so you can see. Some kind of cardboardy panels is what they called it. They gave us a stencil to get the outline of the bear. And I have it back. Hooray, hooray. But I will turn that volume down. Holy mackerel, that's noisy. Let me turn. No. No, 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 no. Not that. I need more options. Okay. That was notification volume was way too loud. See, that's better. Okay. Sorry. All right. So they gave us the stencil for the bear, so that's why that's shaped very nicely, and everybody's is pretty much the same. I think what we did was chalk. It's been a couple years. I think we did a chalk outline of the stencil and then painted black around, and then, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. And then painted. I'll tell you what, this is not a great medium. It's sort of like this one. I had, you can see my, so sorry, preparation for Decade Divas there. So this is a paper mache pumpkin. It really sucked up the paint too. This was actually even worse. I could not believe how much paint I had to use. Holy moly. But again, I had nothing to compare it to, so it didn't seem like a big deal to me. But like looking back at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that could have used a couple more layers. And anyway. And then they just explained how to do the mountains and to get some shading there. My goal is to get it hung up. I'm going to put it here. This is where I think I want it. Yeah, because you can see that really nicely. You can't tell it's a bear. It just looks like a mountain scene. Because it would be kind of cool to do it here as well. But then you don't see. I don't know. I don't know. Tell me your opinions. Should I put it right here? It has been in the basement, but it's behind the freezer, behind the... we've got a vertical freezer in the basement. And then we have my stepdaughter's giant drum kit, because it's from my uncle. And he was a professional drummer for years. Oh, stepdaughter is home. She drove herself from home. It's a long story why she couldn't just do it this morning. Anyway, but and I had to go pick her up. I'm filming this on Wednesday. But she was able to drive herself to and from school just now for technical theater. I believe that's what she was working on. Okay. Sorry. Those are all my notification sounds. I was just trying to adjust them. All right. I think we're good. That shouldn't be too disruptive anymore. All right. So, that's the painting. I'm going to do some audio, but I'll kind of limit the audio since I've talked about it a lot here. My husband took this class with me. We'd already been married for nearly 4 years at that time. But anyway, so, all right, I'm going to upload this and then upload audio. Okay, so I had a picture of me in the class, and as you can see, I had a normal color hair. That is not my natural color hair either. I've had my hair many variations, all the different blonde colors, many of the different red colors, and sometimes half red, like red underneath and then blonde on the top. So I've had all different lengths of hair, but there you get to see what my hair looked like when I was a teacher. So I didn't have crazy purple hair at that time. Anyway, or even super hyper platinum hair, which is what I had before I turned it purple. Which is, again, none of that is my natural hair colors. I used to be blonde when I was a little kid. But, you know, now it's like it pretends it's sort of blonde. But it's what I would call true field mouse colored naturally. And then I have these beautiful white streaks. If all of my hair was white, or if it was more scattered or something, I could probably go natural, but it's just like one big streak. And that's it. And it's so, anyway, I've blabbed on about my hair too much. But there's me taking the class, and then the picture of the bear, which I showed you. And they called this class Mountain Bear or something like that, and provided all the paints, and it was different costs depending on what medium you used. So my husband's painting like this is actually on a canvas. He did not end up falling in love with painting. I, however, did. What you're going to see. Again, this was just my first painting as an adult, not in school, um, just for fun. And I've been painting since, mostly. So initially it was the paint and sip classes. Then it was some online, because again, 2020. Um, it was some online versions. One was a fundraiser online for the Cincinnati Zoo. Um, I'll have to make sure I show you that picture. I don't know if that's in my album or not, but I know about when I did that. So, and the next painting that you're going to actually see was an online paint and sip class through, I actually ironically think it was through Joanne. You could take these classes, but I can't remember the name of the company that it was. But anyway, you'll see that I went with friends because, again, my husband did not fall in love with painting. I, however, did. So, uh, this is just number one, and I don't think it's too bad for my first shot at it. Soon, probably next week, hopefully early next week, you'll get to see the painting I did. It has been mailed to the person, so once the person opens it, then I will release the video of it, and so that'll be in fast motion. It's got music with it. It should be. It's actually really fun for me to watch it. I'm hoping. I kind of found a speed that wasn't like crazy fast, but didn't make the video too long. Anyway, that's about all the other paintings. But this was my first painting. And again, I took a class. It was a teacher kind of talking about it, and it's kind of interesting how different, like, my husband's looks. Even though I think it looks good, he did not. He did not enjoy the process. He didn't. He doesn't love it. He doesn't love the picture he made. It's not a whole lot different than mine, but it is interesting to see how different it was on a canvas versus the wood panel. As they called it, wood panel. It is not wood. It's like, if it's wood, it's particle board, but it's not heavy enough to be particle board. So I think it's some kind of cardboard conglomerate. It's very stiff like wood. But anyway, I feel like I've been blabbing on forever. But anyway, yes. Just remember, don't sit in front of a metal I-beam and laugh. Okay? Protect yourself from concussion. Thanks for coming in, and can I get an amen?